You know, originally when I didn't even see this season when it aired. I saw the first season when it aired. I was at the Comic Con, right? I think it was the weekend of or the weekend before this was about to air, season one. And I saw how excited Frank Darabont was, and when they asked him, what character are you excited to get to the most? And they actually introduced Norman Reedus as like, this is an original character, he's not in the comics. Norman Reedus came out, and it was cool. And then when they asked Frank Darabont, who's the character you're most excited to get to, he was like, Michonne. He was so excited. He seemed like a little kid. And I was excited for the first season. And then after the first season, I guess maybe it was that episode when it originally aired that I wasn't excited anymore. When season 2 aired, I wasn't thrilled about it. I didn't watch it the entire year. It was right before season 3 came on that season 2 was on Netflix. So I watched it. And I thought it was an okay season. I didn't like it that much. You know, I watched it, but it wasn't like something that I was thrilled about. Now, rewatching it, I thought the season was a boring season, to be honest. I was kind of like, ugh, this is like the worst season. And most people refer to it as the farm season and like one of the worst seasons. It actually really isn't. Like, this season is pretty decent. It's not terrible. Like, trust me, there are seasons that are pretty bad, and they're coming up. They're coming up. It's about season 3 and 4, for a majority part, is pretty bad. And this one is not that bad starting out, because I thought this one was going to be a boring episode, and it wasn't. It wasn't a boring episode. Starts out with Shane lying his ass off, making up a story about what happened to Otis that has nothing to do with what really happened to Otis. And, you know, then we just see that how Shane his mind is working right now. Daryl's still going out there looking for Sophia. Herschel wants them not to have the guns on the farm. And Rick obliges and says, okay, we give up our guns. Shane's not like that. He's like, we need to have our guns at all times. If something happens, blah, 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 which is just ridiculous. And later on, we'll get to more ridiculous things with Shane that, like, it's like, how did he not know, even though he went out last episode and, you know, through all the walkers? It's a lot of shit. But, yeah, so they give up their guns. Rick asks for an exception to let Dale have his gun on the property, even though didn't make sense, because right after this scene happened where they give up their guns, Shane goes off and Andrea goes off, and Andrea has her guns and shit still with her and all this. I don't know. Andrea, I'm sorry, I know I say Andrea, but whatever. Andrea, I say Andrea, everyone can say Andrea. If I keep saying Andrea, it's whatever. The cutest thing about this episode is we get Maggie and Glenn, but we'll talk about that in a little bit. Like I said, Daryl is still looking for Sophia. He's going out there. He's looking for her. This episode is called Cherokee Rose. Daryl goes to Carol and gives her a bullshit story about how the Cherokee Indians, the children were taken away from them, and some of them never saw them again. They were crying for their children, and they prayed for a sign to show the mothers that there is hope out there, that their children will be returned to them, and a rose grew from their tears, and that's the Cherokee rose. And he said, I don't think that any roses are being bloomed for my brother Merle, but I'm pretty sure that this rose is being bloomed for your daughter Sophia. And you know, that's another little moment between Carol and Daryl. So that was cute. That's a little cute moment. Shane goes to Lori and he's like, did you really want me to stay? Just say yes so I could be crazy and plan to kill Rick. I know I said I kind of sympathized for him, but that was the last time. Like, that last episode with him, with that decision that he had to do was the last time I could probably, you know, go for him. I mean, I don't know. He's trying to teach Andrea some bullshit. They had a whole little back and forth between those two characters. T-Dog's in better moods. He's happier, and he's saying everybody's got to do their part, and he was going to drink some water from one of the wells in the green farm, and Dale was looking down before. I don't know why, he's just suspicious, I guess, all the time. So he looked down and he was like, no, I don't think you should drink that. And then the terrible actor that portrays T-Dog automatically looks at the well like he knows what the hell he means. Even though nobody would know what he means. He'd be like, what the fuck are you doing, man? I was going to drink that water. You shouldn't drink that. What the fuck you mean I shouldn't drink that? That would have been my reaction. What the fuck is going on? He was like, come here, look, I'll show you. Oh, okay. No, he's just like, oh, I know, because I'm a bad actor. And he looks, and there's a walker swimmer in the well. And this is another episode or part of a season where Glenn almost dies, where Glenn has to be walker bait, as he's so vividly called later on in another episode. I don't think it's this episode, I think it's a later episode, where he gets hurled down there to put the rope around that fat ass bloated walker, so they could carry that walker out of the well, not contaminate the water. But they bring it up, and the rope breaks, and well, not the rope breaks actually. Basically the pipe breaks that they wrap the rope around to drop Glenn. So Glenn's screaming because he almost actually gets bit. But when he gets out, they said, well, I guess that didn't work out. But he wrapped up the walker. And they try to bring that walker up, and his body splits in half, and the water gets contaminated. So they close the well. So that was a waste of time. It was just good visual effects for everybody at home watching. Lori asks Glenn before Glenn goes on a journey to town with Maggie to pick him up something, and he has no idea what it is. But the funniest part is Maggie, this is the little banter back and forth before anything happens. She goes, I heard you're quick on your feet and know how to get in and out. and Glenn's like, what? Like, that sounds so dirty, you hot fucking girl on the horse. That's all Glenn has imagined her as. The hot girl on the horse. And it's the cutest thing ever. So they go into town. They try to get supplies. Glenn's trying to get the birth control for pregnancy tests for Lori without letting anybody know. And while he's trying to hide it, Maggie's like, what the hell are you doing? And he's like, no, nothing, I got everything. And he had condoms. And she's like, oh, you must be a confident guy. And he's like, no. She's like, what do you mean? It's like, wouldn't have sex with me? He's like, no, I would never. Well, no, I don't know what I'm saying. And she's like, I'd have sex with you. Which kind of makes her seem like a whore. But at the same time, it's like, she's been living in a farm with her family for God knows how long. God knows how long she hasn't had sex. God knows how long she hasn't seen another person that isn't a family member. So now she's like, this little Asian dude, I'm gonna bone him. So they bone. It was cute. And later the relationship grows even more. But that was a cute little scene. This is a good episode. Lori finds out she's pregnant at the end. Carl has some conversation with Rick, and Rick gives Carl his hat, and Carl's gonna wear that hat forever now. Like, I don't know, it's about him getting shot, and now he's one of us. You're one of me and Shane. Now you can carry that hat wherever you go, little buddy. You're one of us now. So Carl wears the hat, and then Lori has this little moment where she looks at his gunshot wound. So she's like, both my boys, my husband and my baby, have gunshot wounds almost in the exact same place. Actually, I think it is the exact same place. Although, no, it was in the mirror. It looked the same. It's actually opposite. It was on Rick's left side where he got shot, underneath his heart, almost his heart, I think. Or was it by his... I don't know. I could be mistaken. It could actually be the exact same side. Either way, this was actually a pretty entertaining episode, even though there was a lot of talking. There was a lot of cute stuff going on. There was a lot of relationships being developed. Shane and Andrea, Carol and Daryl, Maggie and Glenn, and Herschel and Rick also, because Herschel's big thing was, I don't want guns on my property, and you guys gotta know, you're getting the fuck out of here when your boy gets healthy. And Rick's like, God damn it, I gotta make this work. So Rick comes back and he's like, listen, you gotta reconsider. And he's like, reconsider what? He's like, not for me, not for my people, but for my son. You gotta reconsider throwing us out of here. Like, this is a good place, we can make it work. And he's like, alright, I'll reconsider. So, good episode. Like I said, ends up with Lori finding out she's pregnant. It was actually pretty entertaining when nothing happened. So, this is actually not that bad of a season so far. I might change my mind in the next episode. I don't know. But this episode was pretty good, even though nothing happened. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you thought about this episode. If anybody's even watching this. And I'll talk to you guys next time. Peace.